Hey guys, it's Jesse from Mystic Gamers, and I'm joined by Tristan.
What is
And today we have a very special something for you guys. Uh,
nice description?
yeah, I don't really know what else to call it. Tristan said I was gonna call it a podcast, and Tristan told me, "No, don't call it a podcast. You can't call it a podcast. It ain't what it is."
Yeah.
So it's not a podcast, but it's something that we just wanted to do because in one of our episodes of our podcast, we got on this topic and we wanted to expand on it.
Sort of like an extended commentary.
Sure, that's a good name for it, sort of. But
Sort
so
of.
what we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about The Walking Dead, and we're going to be talking about a cure for the disease, right?
This is sort of, yeah.
Okay. Well, um, let's get into it. Okay. So I was saying in the podcast that I have hope that there's a cure,
Mm.
right? Because like somebody somewhere has to be developing a cure, has to be doing something to get the zombie apocalypse. I just have a feeling that that's the way it is. Somebody's
Yeah, I
doing
mean
something
the two groups we're looking at can't be the only two people, the only two like
in the entire world.
yeah. So I am sure there are people that are
And
and
and like you can look at the CDC and you can say, well, Jenner didn't have a cure, but he was close. And he said that he lost communication with the French. That doesn't mean that the French went out. He lost communication. He was still there. The French could still be there. What if they're as close as Jenner was, and they have nothing's happened, like the
yeah.
samples haven't got destroyed. So I have hope in the world. But Tristan has a really good thing to say. I don't know when he's going to get to it, but I
I
don't
can get
know.
to whenever.
Well, you should. I think you should go ahead and say your theory because I really like it.
Okay, so my theory is basically that there really doesn't even need to be a cure. If people can change their lifestyle up a little bit and live kind of as one, then what I'm gonna say will work or should work. So changing up their lifestyle really isn't that big of a deal. You just gotta kind of be on the lookout for walkers, I guess. I mean, theoretically, if you keep your place fortified like Woodbury was, with good walls and people on watch on the walls at all times, then walkers shouldn't be a problem. The big deal is that like people are gonna die inside your town or your area, whatever you want to call it. People are gonna die inside that. So you have to just get used to make sure you destroy their brain when they do die. I mean, you gotta shoot them in the head or whatever you gotta do. You gotta make sure that you do that. So basically, what I was saying was that you can pretty much just rebuild civilization from the inside and just expand and keep expanding and it's pretty much like starting over from scratch like the people did when I don't know, I guess when America started or any
But
other
you know what it reminds me of?
country.
It kind of. Sorry to interrupt you,
Go ahead.
but kind of like a more advanced Woodbury, sort of maybe.
Mhm. Yeah, sort of. See, like what my full thought was is that basically you just get your little group together into a town similar to Woodbury, and then you survive. You can eventually, once you get to certain points, um, I mean, for one, you're gonna be able to reproduce like
Yes,
completely. Of course, you're gonna want
yes.
like
Luckily, you have all the tools you need to do that.
yeah. I mean,
Hmm.
um, you're gonna need you like really what you're gonna want is like some sort of doctor. Um, at least that's one big thing that you need is like a doctor that can pass on knowledge and all this stuff. Um, because you gotta have people like that that can do that without trying to redo trial and error again. But like my whole thought was that you can build up that town and like start from scratch with like more knowledge than
So, in a sense, you're rebuilding society. So,
base.
once you get your town blocked off, so you find a town, block it off, you have people in there to defend it. From there, it's just
Mhm.
building society back up. As
Yeah,
long as you keep the walkers out, I mean, they're eventually going to die off or something's going to happen to them anyway.
yeah.
So, just stay in that secluded area or
Uh-huh.
area where walkers can't get in, and you should be all right.
This is assuming that you are like the last people left. I mean, I don't guess it's assuming that. I don't guess you would have to assume that, but fact is there are going to be people out there like dangerous people out there.
Yeah, as long as you can keep the dangerous people out, the good people in, and the walkers out, you'll be all right.
Yeah, I mean, like what I was telling Jesse is walkers, like while they're a threat, as long as you have decent walls, I'm not like I wouldn't be insanely worried about walkers. Like Jesse said, eventually they're gonna fizzle out, they're gonna decay, they're gonna rot. They're you can't like they're not gonna be like a walking stack of bones. I mean, like
Right.
when they're to that point, they're over. Like eventually they're gonna fizzle out. I mean, I don't know how long it takes, but fact is I think the walkers we're seeing on the show now are probably not the ones we saw.
Well, see,
Yeah.
the problem with waiting for them, what I see the problem is that people are going to be getting infected every day. So I don't know, probably like 3 to 4 years, I'd say it would take before everyone finally
Well, I
died
mean,
off.
like, yeah, I was gonna say one or two things gonna happen. The whole population is gonna have to die off, or they're gonna have to try to wall themselves in. And like I said, the thing is if you keep your own town safe from the outside,
Right, and tell them what you do with your dad, Tristan. This is so fucking genius.
yeah, you just kill your dead. I mean, people have customs in every culture that they do with, like funerals and stuff like that. I mean, it's just another step in that process. Just shoot the people that are dead
Right.
that die, shoot them in the head. They can't turn that way. And just make it like a new customary thing to do.
The only problem I see with that is like if somebody dies in their sleep. But I could see that you would probably only lose like 2 or 3 people, and you could easily quarantine that many walkers off and take care
Mhm.
of that. But the problem is that if you couldn't get to it in time, next thing you know, your whole town is just like all like it was before. It's just gonna go into hell.
Yeah. I mean, there's not like while there are some catches, there's not anything major that I could see destroying a full town. If pe like the thing is, one thing is I think that like when the government got this, they didn't know what was going on. They didn't know how to handle it. Like obviously, I don't know if they knew that everybody was infected or not, but fact is even if they did, they like the hospitals. Like I remember, like I don't know if it was I'm not sure where I saw it, but like I think it might have been one of those that game that's on AMC that tells Shane's life before he like while Rick was in the coma or whatever. But anyway, like isn't that supposed to be real?
Like is it
Game
supposed to
on
really
AMC?
be? Is it really supposed to be happening in the show?
Yeah, no, like well, I mean, wasn't that actually what happened before the show?
Oh, okay. So you mean
Wasn't
like
it supposed to be like true
well,
as
I
far
would
as it?
say that if it's an official AMC post, then yeah, it really
It was a
happened in.
game on AMC.
Well, then yeah, it really happened in the world,
So
and
anyway,
also just like the Telltale games happened,
no,
really, and
okay,
yes.
no, go ahead. I
Oh
was
no, wait a minute. The Telltale games couldn't have happened. Maybe they could, but it's really hard because Glenn is in weird places, Herschel's in weird places. But I mean, I guess. But the new game could have definitely happened.
that was where I was talking about. It was the Telltale games that heard it, and I'm sure this happened. Apparently, in those games, like when people got bit, the people didn't understand it. They said that, like I remember it said on the Telltale game that some fool tried to bite him or something like that, or eat him or something,
Oh
and
well.
he's at the hospital, blah blah blah. Well, the
Oh
hospitals were
yeah, I
taking these
remember that.
people in, huh?
I just said I remember that. I remember what part of the game you're talking about.
Yeah, and like the hospitals are taking all these people in, and the people trying to help them are probably like the nurses and stuff like that, doctors, whatever. They probably don't understand what's going on. They get bit, and like like it just spreads. People don't understand. So even if you are in a town like that, you're gonna understand like how big of a deal this actually would be, and you know what I mean? Like it's not you'll be able to shoot it down real quick. It's not like you have no knowledge about what would be going on if somebody got bit and turned.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just take out the walker instead of being like, oh well, this person got bit. We're gonna put them in the hospital and have somebody watch over them. Blah 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 blah. I mean, I think that's another thing. I think if somebody does happen to get bit, I mean, I wouldn't take any chances. If they get bit, I don't even think you need to let them die. Just kill them. I mean,
Well, I don't know. I'd let him like
it seems a bit harsh, but it seems kind of
no, because like there's always that interim moment in between where you can kill them because as long as you watch them, like let them have their final moments, and then like
yes.
Amy. like Amy, she got bit in what, episode 4.
Hmm.
So she died, and Andrea crying over, and it didn't. She didn't turn for like the till like the next day.
Yeah,
So
but Jenner said that there have been cases from like
yes, I
anywhere from
know.
like 1 minute to
I understand that, but it doesn't really matter. You'll still have time to kill it once they like pass out or die or whatever happens in that moment
yeah.
there. Like you have
Yeah, I
plenty of
guess.
time to put a bullet in their head.
I guess I just it just for me it'd be like I'm not really don't really want to take any chances, but anyway, it honest I can't honestly see it being like it would be difficult, yes, but the fact is you have like prior knowledge of how to like or at least for the most part, like people can grow their own food. I mean, like
Right.
that's not insanely hard. Like surely they have some kind of
And also, like this is something that I have no idea, and I mentioned it earlier when we were talking about it. But don't viruses or whatever this is, as generations progress, don't they become weaker and weaker?
yeah, I think I was saying I think you just like sort of
Evolve?
yeah, evolve. That was the word for it. You just sort of evolve, and like I think you eventually grow out of it, or it just like
So yeah, eventually, like as long as you can keep it under control, eventually I believe your body, it
yeah.
seems, would naturally adapt to it and like I don't know, learn to live with the virus. And when you turn into a zombie, it was just another part of your life, or something like
I
that.
mean
I'm
I
not
don't know.
sure,
That
or
seems a bit
or it could
weird,
totally,
but I mean
yeah, I know, or it could totally wipe it out. It could totally wipe out and we could just become immune to the
yeah.
virus. That probably
Yeah,
makes more
that
sense.
seems the most likely thing to me, but like it just seems to me like it wouldn't be that insanely hard if you build a town, okay? You build a town, keep walkers out, make sure that the people that die inside your town are dead and shot in the head when they die.
Yeah,
Then all you have to do and as your town expands, you can expand. You can make like or as like the people there as more people as the town gets more people in it, you can expand your town, make it bigger, move your walls out, and with that, you're going to be able to clear zombies. And like I was telling Jesse, like it can't be that hard. There's ways to figure out of making like ammunition and stuff.
yeah.
I mean, at the very least, you can make arrows. I mean, it doesn't seem like a very an
Well,
insanely.
it's like I I so want the zombie apocalypse to happen, and it's so fucking stupid for my fat
Yeah, I
ass
know. I
to be
know.
in the zombie apocalypse, is it not?
Yeah,
But
because I'm sure I would die really fast because I
yes,
can't run.
but I would have so much fun in it though before I die.
I do not know. I don't want it to happen really, but it would be cool.
It's
I
like,
mean, like legit, do I want it to happen? No. Do I want it to happen in my brain thinking about how awesome it would be? Yeah.
yeah, I was talking to Tristan. I was like, I want to be able to what's it called,
Lucid dream.
lucid dream,
Yeah.
so that I can dream that I'm in the zombie apocalypse and do some shit.
Yeah, I've said so many times like I wish I could just drop myself in the zombie apocalypse like into a zombie apocalypse world whenever I wanted and pull myself right back out whenever I wanted and just like carry on normal life otherwise.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
dude.
epic.
Another reason why I think there's a cure to this disease is because it just, what was I going to say?
Uh,
Oh, there's always something that can kill something else usually.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing, that no living organism that can't die.
Yeah,
Ex-
yeah.
Except for
Like
that, like that one crazy like micro bug, but I'm not even going to get into that. That thing can fucking live forever, but I'm just saying.
I don't even know what you're talking about, but
Yeah, there's like some kind of micro bug, and it lives like under the ocean, and like it can go up into space without air or anything. They've sent one
what?
up into space. They've sent one up into space, dude. That's how
Yeah.
serious this is. And it lived, and like it's just insane. It doesn't die.
There's some way to kill it, I'm sure. Like, like
Definitely.
that's the thing about like any virus, really. I'm sure there's some or some something out there in nature that will like cure it. I mean,
Right.
or a mix of something like 10 things mixed together along with some salt and pepper cures, I don't know, AIDS or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
I,
there's got to be a cure for just about everything.
but the only problem is like I worry. I think they could find a cure as long as they stayed up. But like, did you hear about the HIV pill or whatever, and it's cured that baby?
No.
Okay, well, there's an HIV pill or something. I don't know the exact details of it, but there's some kind of something this baby took, and it cured it of HIV. Now,
No.
we've had HIV in the U.S. for what, like 35, 40 years
I don't
almost,
know.
like
Yeah, it's
30,
like
35
half a
years.
century or something. I thought.
No, it hasn't been that long. It was in that like the late 70s or early 80s one.
Oh, really? I thought it was like late 60s. Anyway, go ahead.
No, but anyway, we've had AIDS that long. There hasn't been uh flesh eating people, and it took us that long to find a cure. So the only thing I worry about is time. But if the CDC or the French equivalent, whoever that was, could somehow figure it out, like and actually get on the ball and actually do it, I
Yeah,
think that it's very achievable.
yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. Like honestly, I think that they're probably not exactly breaking their necks to cure cancer and AIDS and all
Right,
that.
that's a
Like
good point.
I'm sure they're not like head over heels
It's
going
well, it's because
90 mile an hour trying to do it
it doesn't
because it doesn't
affect them.
affect as many people.
Yes,
Like,
it doesn't affect them either because like
yeah.
if I guarantee you, if their whole family gets munched up by these people and then they're trapped like Jenner was underground, they're definitely going to try to
Yeah,
get a
but
cure made.
like this like the zombie virus isn't just a few people here and there. This is like destroying mankind. This is a little bit more serious than you know what I mean. Like I feel like if this actually happened, they would be and they there would be a lot more people on it too. Like I
Yeah.
don't know. But I wanted to go ahead if you wanted to make another point. But I wanted to say something here in a minute.
Well, okay. Well, yours didn't happen to be about the finger, did it?
No.
Okay. So a guy on Reddit brought
Wait.
up a good
Wait.
point.
Wait. Let me get into that first. Um.
Okay. Let Tristan go first with his point.
Or we were just talking. Well, it's because it's sort of related, I think. So, oh man.
That's a very good point you're making right now.
Yeah. Hold on.
Thank you for your insightful thoughts.
Go ahead and make your point. Let me think for a minute. I know what you're gonna say, so go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so there's this guy on Reddit, I forgot your name. Sorry. Anyway, he said it was in the discussion post for that they have every week for each episode, and he said, I have one question about Merle. If the governor bit off his finger and everyone is infected, wouldn't the infected blood cause the governor to turn? Now, can you explain that, Tristan? Because that is very confusing to me. I don't understand how Merle's blood wouldn't cause the governor to turn. I think that's a good point on whoever put that. Whoever put that, the Redditor that put that, is a pretty good point.
It's probably gonna take me a couple times to try to explain it, and I probably still ain't. I'm not gonna get it out perfect, but okay. So to begin with, like let's start with what we know. Zombie when a zombie bites you, it gives you a fever and causes you
To
pretty much to die.
right.
Okay, and that's that. Then you turn. Okay, everybody's infected, and when they die, they turn.
Mhm.
But the infection that everybody has, like that everybody carries, doesn't speed up your death process as far as we know whatsoever. Okay,
Hold on. It doesn't speed up your. Oh, okay. So the one when you're alive, it doesn't speed it up.
no.
Okay.
Okay, so and now I've heard this. Apparently, when a zombie bites you, the bacteria that it carries when it bites you or scratches you or whatever it does gives you the fever and causes you to die. Now, my only question when this happens is um
Okay. So hold on. It's not the zombie virus that's killing you. It's the bacteria in like their teeth or something. And
um
then the virus reanimates you?
okay, so the virus the I think the so what I think happens is that whatever they have when they bite you or scratch you or whatever causes you to have the fever just causes you to die. Is now that's what I think because
Hmm.
whatever they have, whatever it is that they give you, I don't think that makes you turn it. That's not I don't that's obviously not what makes you turn.
Okay.
So
So
I think
yeah, I think you're saying what I said.
everybody is gonna turn. I think just the zombie bite
Just
gives you
whatever.
some sort of infection or something that gives you fever and ultimately leads to your death, and your
Right.
death leads to you turning, not the zombie bite.
Okay. So hold on then. If that was true, then when you got bit, if it wasn't like a crazy bad wound, you could take some penicillin. That'd wipe out the bacteria. You wouldn't die and you wouldn't turn.
Well, that's not necessarily like I don't. I think that's the problem. I think the cure that I think maybe they might be looking for two cures. And see, that's what I'm not positive about. Like, I don't know what kind of bacteria the zombies would carry, but I'm just assuming that the zombie bite ultimately leads to your death, and then your death is what leads to your infection. I don't think the zombie bite and the infection are really. I don't know how related they are. Like, I guess there's some relation to them just because you're a zombie and that you turned from the infection. You see what I'm saying?
That's interesting.
So like, I don't know if I'm explaining it perfectly, but I think you catch what I'm saying.
Right.
Like,
I really don't understand in The Walking Dead either. This is something else I'm not clear on is people that had just recently died and been in the ground didn't come up. I don't understand that.
well, I mean, zombies aren't exactly the strongest thing ever. I mean, I think they're just.
Oh, okay. So you think
I
they're
imagine I'm like I don't know how deep they bury. Like I'm a.
6 feet?
Well, I'm talking. Well, I was more talking about people like Glenn and all them that bury their dead.
Oh,
Like
it's not very deep.
that's what I'm saying.
Three,
So
4 feet.
I mean, like, I don't know how much dirt. I don't know how much weight that is, but I imagine they probably can't get out of it. In the comics, I remember I read up and like right up to this point. After Shane died in the comics, Rick went back, dug him up, and killed him. So
Okay.
like,
So that's interesting.
so that's the only thing where I see that they've it all visited that. Like, I haven't read very far into the comics, but anyway, back onto this infection thing. The fact that the governor bit off Merle's fingers doesn't surprise me that um
So, like, basically, the infection, I think, okay, hold on. Hold on. The infection doesn't kill you, it just brings you back to life.
that's my thought.
Okay.
I don't think the infection is actually the death of you.
So
Like,
when,
that's why I think that everybody turns. I think the death is what causes you to turn, but well, I mean,
right.
the death is what leads to you turning. I don't think it's the zombie bites that lead you turning. The thing is like, if you remember, everybody that died in The Walking Dead up until we learned that everybody was infected was bitten. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So people just assumed that since a zombie bit them,
Hmm.
it was directly related to the infection and that they turned because of the zombie bite. Well,
Wow.
up until they figured out that the infection made you turn, or like that everybody carried the infection. I At least the way I'm imagining it, what you actually turn from is death, not a bite from a zombie. It's the infection that you already have, like um
I get your point.
predate.
I get your point. So, like, what's killing you is either like blood loss or an infection or something, and then the
Yeah.
infection is okay. I understand. That's a good point. Actually, I never even thought about it that way, but that's really good point.
So that's why I think that the governor and Merle, like, he bit off his fingers. Like, the infection in your blood, like, you already have the infection to begin with. So like, if you're biting someone else's finger off that has the same infection you do, how's that different? It's like
But I
it's not
still don't understand like why you don't think if you took penicillin you wouldn't die and then you wouldn't turn.
Well, I mean, there's probably some sort of different bacteria related with the infection that the zombies have. Like, zombies probably carry some sort of specific bacteria
But
that's directly related to the infection.
I thought penicillin killed all bacteria.
Apparently not. I mean, I imagine that whatever it is that the zombies carry is probably directly related to the infection that's in your body already.
But hold the hell up. The infection's a virus, is it not? Have we not agreed on that?
I mean, okay, so in episode 5 or 6, whichever one it was, Jenner said
It
that
could be viral, bacterial,
yeah, yeah,
microbial. We don't know. Yeah.
yeah, they don't know.
And then Jackie was a smart ass bitch and she's like the wrath of God.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I do remember that. So they don't know what it
They
is.
don't know what it is. I think that's why it's so hard to pinpoint a cure.
Okay, so that could be your that could be shit. True. God.
Like that's the reason when
That
like I say, when when a zombie bites you, I think that it carries a different type of bacteria or disease or whatever, something that causes you to get a fever
oh
and
yeah,
leads
it
to your death.
it could also be, what if dude, this is so fucking wacky. But what if it's an alien parasite?
Um, I don't know.
Now I know that sounds wacky, but I don't know if you know this, but this is how Robert Kirkman pitched the comics when he was talking to Image for them. I know this because I watched the special features on my season 1 collection thing. But Robert Kirkman said that what caused the zombies were aliens, and as soon as they ki- kill the zombies or something, it's going to end. And he said that because he figured that if he said it ended, they would it would let the it would make them give it to him, like give him the contract to make the comics
And
under
now
their
they
name.
can't. Now they can't
And
take the.
now they
But
can't end it. He was lying the entire time about the
oh man,
aliens.
what a genius!
Yeah, no. but
I mean, I don't know like what it would be caused from, but
but seriously though, parasites. No, they're not alien parasites, but parasites aren't out of question because I know parasites. They attach, right, and they live off of you.
yeah, basically, yeah.
I mean, yeah. What if parasites like
Sounds
take over your nervous system?
seems illogical, but like you would think Jenner would know about it, or you would like be able to see something in
Well, I'm
that.
pretty sure Jenner said we don't know what it is, and I'm pretty sure he said parasitic as one of them.
He probably did. He probably did. I mean, that's probably that seems likely, but I'm not sure. Like, I don't know. The thing that's getting me is like people keep talking about it, but like I don't know. I guess there's always so much speculation. You just nobody really knows. But there's been so many interviews with like cast members and Greg Nicotero and Robert Kirkman and all them people that work on The Walking Dead, and they always give the same exact answer, and it's similar to the one I tried to give a minute ago about sort of what I said, but like that's not what they say. They pretty much say that it's the infection that kills you, or it's the you turn because of the infection or something like that. I don't know. Like
Mm,
every time they get some dumb comment about the infection or how somebody doesn't get bit and dies and I don't know, like
okay.
whatever.
I think I'm pretty sure though. Sure, these are all good theories, but I'm pretty sure we're led to believe, and we're also supposed to assume that it is a virus
Yeah,
because it went airborne and all that
yeah.
bullshit.
I mean, yeah, we were talking. I remember talking about like here a while back. This might even have been on the old channel. I don't remember talking about uh how the virus was spread, and we said maybe waterborne, but no, 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 no. It's definitely airborne. If everybody in the world has it, it's airborne.
Right? I mean, it
It's
has
the
to be. I'm,
only
I'm pretty
possible
sure.
thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone agrees with that.
Yeah, well, I mean, we were talking about other possible ways that it could have been spread, and the only other one we came up with was waterborne. That's the next logical thing, but still, it doesn't even like that doesn't cover everybody. Like water's in everything basically though, so I guess it could be, but
Yeah. Um.
but
That's
see, another thing, like if everything carries the infection and it's airborne, like if you were to like drink rainwater or something, wouldn't that be basically the same as having blood from something else, like Merle's fingers?
hmm.
Is there much of a difference?
Well, that's actually interesting. That's a good point, actually. I don't. I think blood though is a little different than
I mean,
water.
yeah, I'm sure it is. I mean, it just seems to me
Like
like
I just see blood having a better chance of being infected than
well,
water.
well, obviously everything's infected though,
Well, water's not infected, dude. It's not inside the water.
but it's in the air. I mean,
Yes, it's in the air, but it's not in the water.
so the thing is about like that. The answer to that question, I don't know if we ever directly got to it or not. But
What was the question being asked?
about the biting of the fingers.
Oh, yes, okay.
Um, the only like explanation that I can come up with is that, like I said, they all carry the same infection.
Hmm.
It was airborne, so they all have the exact same infection. I can't imagine that like having someone else's blood in your body is much different than having your own blood in your body if it's the same infection. Like
Yeah.
it's not like it's just infection moving from one place to another. I mean, it's the same infection.
Yeah.
So, and that's like I imagine it's traveled through like any sort of bodily fluids. Like I mean, I can only imagine that.
Dude, I didn't think about that.
I can only imagine that like
I
having sex
finally
or kissing or something like
I
that.
finally understood what you meant, dude. It's because people are having sex on this show, aren't they?
Yeah,
I
like
forgot.
well,
Okay, I wondered what you meant by other bodily functions. I was thinking, like, is he talking about piss and shit? What's he talking about?
I mean, people are having sex, kissing, all that.
Right.
Like, imagine,
Okay.
I imagine like it's probably like an STD or something. Honestly, like
Okay, fine. Well,
everybody's
well,
doing it
if
the
the
same way.
if the bite finger thing was true, then it would be like an STD, but it's not true, so it's not really like an STD because
Well,
everyone's infected
well,
anyway.
everyone has it, but I'm saying like I'm not saying that it. I'm saying that like people have had sex. Therefore, if that was the case, infection from different people, like in, I guess Glenn and Maggie is the only is one of is the best one I can think of, or even for that matter, Lori and Judith.
Right,
Lori and
Judith, like, see,
Tracy.
Judith wasn't even born a zombie, so that right
Yeah,
there shows you that it doesn't work like that. I don't really know.
I don't think the infection itself, like the infection
I wonder.
that
Okay, so I wonder what happens when you die that triggers these things to go off into your brain and take over your body.
I don't think the infection itself is deadly. It's like you just die from whatever, like natural causes, basically, unless you get bit. Then you die by whatever the zombie carries that it gives you that makes you have the fever.
Hmm.
Like honestly, I I would be more worried about curing whatever the zombie gives you, like the bites that is like when a zombie bites you, because honestly, the infection that you have that makes you turn, again, that's easily solved. You just shoot somebody in the head after they die. I know what I was gonna say earlier. You meant the point I was gonna bring up, and
Okay.
I brought this up on Reddit, and I don't remember you disagreed with me, but here's my thought. When you kill somebody just said, I think it was you maybe, that said just wait it out, but once you do get a cure for whatever it is, like it's not like you can't exactly cure all the walkers. I mean, even if you do manage to cure all the walkers, there's going to be some stragglers of it, surely. So if you're not curing walkers, if you're curing the infection that
I
people
okay.
have, giving it to living, breathing people, then what are you going to do about the walkers?
Right. Well, see, that's what I'm saying is I think you need to be in a town, find a cure, stay in the town, wait for the zombies to die off. Because if you don't, you can't cure a zombie. What are you going to do when you cure that zombie and they come back and they're like, "Well, shit, my arms are gone. My
Hmm.
Michonne cut off my jaws and got a chain around my neck." I mean,
That's I was about to bring that up. Go ahead, but
but like, I mean, you can't do that to people. So because
yeah,
for one thing, when they come back, they're probably gonna die. They'd
yeah.
probably like die instantly or faint from the pain or something. So that would be no, you couldn't do that. So just wait for them to die and then give everyone else vaccines. So even if you got attacked from a zombie and got bit, you wouldn't die from it.
Yeah, I mean, like there, it's sort of
Well,
like
you well,
a
you may die, but you won't come back as a zombie because you got a vaccine for the virus.
like it would be good if you got bit by a zombie, have like sort of an anti venom,
Yeah.
like something like that, and then like some like a cure to the infection.
Okay,
That's
so
like
actually, this might not be too far off because I wasn't buying it when Herschel's leg got cut off and it stopped the flow of blood. I don't believe it happened quick enough in order to do that. So maybe it is like a bacterial infection because I do believe it was quick enough to stop a bacterial infection from going through
hmm
his blood system.
yeah.
So maybe just because he didn't die, he
Mhm.
didn't get turned. So I think you might
Yeah,
be onto
see,
something there. It
yeah,
has
yeah.
nothing to do, has absolutely nothing to do with getting bit. Like, if you get bit
I
and
think
you,
getting bit just speeds up the death process.
yeah,
Like
okay,
that's what it leads to is just death. Death, like the death is what causes like it indirectly causes you to turn. The infection is actually what causes it, but death in general is why you turn.
okay, wow,
It's not. I don't think it's actually the bite, or it's a mixture between death and the infection. Apparently, the infection sets in when you die, obviously.
you're right.
So that's what causes like for some reason maybe the infection has something to do with it can't act while it's moving. Like I imagine it's in your blood, right?
Wonder if
So
wonder if it has something to do with like your body can actually fight it off, and then it just takes over when you die.
that could be it too.
So like your immune system can actually take it, but then when you die, it doesn't have you don't have an immune system anymore, and it can just take over.
Yeah. I mean, but then it wouldn't have a traveler. Like it wouldn't be able to travel really. So how does it move to your brain?
What do
It
you mean by Oh, you mean
it
like
can't move through your blood into your brain.
well, it's already in
So
your
the so I imagine
wow.
well, I guess it's I guess it's spread out all throughout your
Yeah,
system, but
I'm not sure actually how that would work, but I don't know something like that. Like
I
I
guess
really
that's
don't see how else it could work. Unless like it happened like that. Like I don't understand why when you get infected you don't turn until you die. I don't understand that to be
yeah.
honest with you.
Well, you're right. See that Herschel thing. I didn't think about that, but that's a good point. Like that just even that makes that theory
Yeah, it makes it
even more probable.
yeah because I mean it stopped the bacterial infection. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's probably what it is.
Like I just think getting bit causes you to die faster. And what I was gonna point out, by the way, Michonne's walkers, she had them for how long? Like those things weren't exactly deteriorating, were they?
You're right,
Like
they
she had to
weren't.
have them for a while.
Yeah.
I know we're like jumping topics,
Well, she did because she knew them even before they turned, right?
yeah, yeah. I
So
think it
that
was like her
mean
brother and her brother, not her brother, but I think it was like her boyfriend and her boyfriend's brother or boyfriend's best friend or something like that.
well apparently they didn't get along very well. But anyway,
Yeah.
so yeah, that was over a year ago by season 3. So God, dude, they are taking a long time to deteriorate. I don't know. You may
And
not like
and Penny, by the way, Penny,
yeah,
Brenner's
Penny.
daughter, like I think
I have a feeling Penny. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that because it
okay,
makes no sense.
no, go
Well,
ahead.
no, because it makes no sense. I was gonna say Penny was actually there at the founding of Woodbury, and then something happened to her. But I don't see that happening now that I think about it. That's what I've thought for a long time, and I'm thinking about it now, and it's just not adding up if that happened because
No, that makes sense.
does it?
Penny was there at the what? The start of Woodbury?
Yeah.
Yeah, that has to that's the only possible thing. Like people the people that he's with wouldn't just be happy about him carrying around a zombie daughter.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I guess that's a good point. Okay. Well, yeah. I was second guessing myself because I figured that he had started Woodbury after he had gone crazy for some reason,
Mm-mm.
and I figured that that's what made him go crazy.
No, if no, see, oh, the Penny dead. See, what made him go in? What made him go seriously insane was when Michonne killed
Michonne
Penny.
killed her.
Like
Yeah.
like I really don't think the governor was that like he was pretty crazy, but I mean, and don't get me wrong, I didn't like any of it. Like I didn't like what he did. I definitely didn't agree with any of it really, but I will say he did like he was keeping Woodbury supplied well by going out and killing people. I
Yeah.
mean, it wasn't exactly I can't think of the word for it, but it wasn't really nice. It wasn't pretty, but he was
Yeah.
getting the job done. Like I guess he was kind of doing what he felt like he had to do anyways. I don't guess he had to, but he was just progressing Woodbury on. Like
Mhm. Yeah, like I mean, I agree with a lot of stuff the governor did because at the end of the day, he kept care of them people,
yeah,
or he took care of them people. I mean,
kept caring, like now he's just gone crazy and really has no regard for leading. He just wants Michonne, and he wants to imprison people dead. Like I don't think he really cares about leadership really anymore at all. That's where he told Andrea to take over. But anyway, we're back. We're on the infection.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
talking
Let's
about
get
the
back
infection.
to the cure.
Um,
So, just for shits and giggles, do you want to talk about this other zombie virus that we could kind of compare to?
the one that the zombies actually give you when they bite you.
No, it's actually from an entirely different zombie world.
Oh, well, sure.
It's from the Zombie Survival Guide, okay? And it's called. Hold on, I hope I pronounce this right. It's a Latin word, solon, solanum.
Hmm.
Okay, and what it does is it travels through the bloodstream, like you said, and then it'll go into the brain from the bloodstream.
Yeah.
And then it says, I'll just quote the book here. Through means not yet fully understood, the virus uses the cells of the frontal lobe for replication, destroying them in the process. During this period, all bodily functions cease. By stopping the heart, the infected subject is rendered dead. The brain, however, remains alive but dormant while the virus mutates its cells into a completely new organ. So, so
So
that's
so
an interesting take on it.
so basically, the virus infiltrates the brain, stops your bodily functions, eventually stops the heart, and
So,
creates an entirely new organ.
right.
Or while the virus is taking effect, you're just kind of dead, and then it creates an entirely new organ that causes you to come back.
Right. Well, see, yeah. Yeah, you
Did
got
I
it.
get that?
You got that right. Yeah. And so, just to contrast from this one, the infection is what is directly killing you in this one.
Hmm.
So, it's traveling through the bloodstream, it stops your heart, infects your brain, grows some kind of new central nervous system, and then it controls you from that.
So in this one, not everybody's infected. Just when you get bit, you're infected.
Right. So, see, that makes more sense to me. I really don't
Really?
understand the yeah, because that makes more sense if this was to really happen. I think that's the way it would be because it makes no sense that if a bacteria infection, I'm pretty sure penicillin can wipe out almost all bacteria.
But but see, that's the thing. Like when a zombie bites you, what is it doing to you? Like I don't understand. Like that's like when a dog bites you and gives you rabies.
Right.
Like basically like whatever it carries, it's like I don't like I'm assuming do zombies even have spit or saliva or whatever? Like
Yeah, I'm
what
pretty
is
sure
it
they
that it
do.
travels through? Like what is it that gets into your bloodstream? Is it like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't
I'm
understand.
pretty sure they do have saliva because I don't know, it just seems like they do. I don't know. It seems like I've seen zombie spit before in this show or heard somebody talk about it or something.
See, one thing that I feel like could be a direct cause. I'm going back to The Walking Dead here. One thing that I feel like could be a direct cause of um, obviously this isn't true in all cases, but one thing I feel like could be a direct cause of the fever or whatever it is that ends up killing you when the zombie bites you is the fact that that zombie might have been chewing on something before it was chewing on you.
Right.
Like it's chewing on bodies that have been laying there possibly for however long,
Like,
and
yeah, I understand your argument, but it's just I want to look this up, dude, because I could have sworn that penicillin wipes out all bacteria with no exceptions. So I don't understand
but that's
that.
the thing. Like that's the thing. For one, they don't know what this is, and for two, just because
I agree with this theory. It seems like to be the most likely one, but I'm just trying to find the
because
flaws in it.
because you say penicillin, just because you say penicillin wipes out every bacteria, doesn't it like they obviously don't know of every single bacteria. So how do they know if it wipes it out or not? Like just because you can say that it wipes it out means it wipes out every bacteria that you've tested. Like there's obviously other bacterias that it has never been tested on. This is probably one of them, and I'm sure that they tried penicillin. I mean, it just seems to me like that penicillin would have worked. They would have been handing out. I don't know.
Okay, okay, so you're okay. So what I'm getting here from this is that penicillin, there are different kinds of penicillin and they're antibiotics.
Hmm.
And all these different kind of antibiotics only target specific bacteria, so I
Hmm.
guess I was wrong.
yeah, like you, that's what I was saying. Like I think that just basically, um, if that's the thing about it, they've
Right.
got to find.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it's not that simple, or the CDC would have done that a long time ago. It'd be like, hey, some penicillin here. Get some shots.
Yeah. But anyway, back to what I don't even know if I was talking about when you went to the penicillin thing or not. But what confuses me is what gives you like in what you're talking about. I'm talking. Is what I'm talking about right now. The that book or whatever it is that you're reading. Um,
Yes, it is. The Zombie Survival Guide by Max Brooks. I recommend anyone go pick it up. It's really good.
when something bites you,
Yeah.
how does it transfer the disease that it
Uh,
has to you?
Solanum is 100% communicable and 100% fatal. Fortunately for the human race, the virus is neither waterborne nor airborne, so this one is actually not airborne.
Yeah.
Humans have never been known to contract the virus from elements in nature. Infection can only occur through direct fluid contact. A zombie bite, although by far the most recognizable means of transference, is by no means the only one. Humans have been infected by brushing their open wounds against those of a zombie or by being splattered by its remains after an explosion. I mean, this is kind of a comedy book, so that was kind of sarcasm there, but
Mm.
ingestion of infected flesh, provided the person has no open mouth sores, however, results in permanent death rather than infection. So in this book, if you eat flesh from a zombie, you just die. I assume that's from just a bacterial infection. So you don't actually turn if you eat zombie
See,
flesh.
it doesn't even make sense. Like,
So basically, let me summarize what I just read there. Basically, he said that the only way to get it is through direct transfer of fluids from one
yeah,
person to another.
basically fluids from zombies or the insides or whatever
Yes. Right.
to a
Apparently, he
inside
even
a
said
person's body.
he even
Like,
said that explosion. So I assume like if it entered into your mouth, just a little piece entered into your mouth or in your eyes or up your nose or something, you would.
no, because if you're eating flesh, you're eating blood as well. So if there's no open sores in your mouth and you swallow blood,
Well,
then
I'm talking about an explosion. I'm not sure why you're talking about that.
explosion.
Well, I mean like goo getting on you from the zombie. Like if like you like slice it and blood comes splattering on you, or if you blow
I,
it up like it says in the book and guts and stuff fall on you. The only way is it through an open wound
yeah, I was gonna
or
say.
through an opening in your on your body. Like
Well,
if
I
it
can't
went.
imagine how does that work though. Like if you're eating zombie flesh, then
Well, okay, well,
then I would
yeah,
imagine you're eating blood as well. So if you swallow,
okay, so you're right, but still, even if it got in your mouth anyway, you would die,
yeah, I mean you just wouldn't turn, correct?
right? And this is not The Walking Dead. I just want to remind everybody that that's not The Walking Dead world. This is
So
some.
so again, what is still confusing me is like when a dog like the only other example I can think of right now is like a dog or raccoon whatever. When they bite you and they give you rabies, like what is it's the foam or whatever it is that they have in their mouth that transfers the disease to you, correct?
I believe it's their saliva.
Saliva. Okay, well, the zombies even have saliva? Like I don't.
Right, yeah, I heard you say that. I don't see how they do, but they do. Like they don't, but they do. Like in the show, they do. But if we're going real world here, I don't see how they would.
I mean that's like some sort of organ or something causes that, right? I mean it's like
I'm pretty sure like something in your mouth does it. I don't know.
so that's why I wonder how it transfers that disease to you. Like that's why I always assumed it was some sort of like something on their on like that's just all over their body or in their like in their mouth or whatever it is that when they bite you that it transfers to the wound and gives you the infection that causes the fever and kills you.
Uh,
I don't know. I just don't understand like how.
well, it happens.
Yeah,
So
that's like the biggest question that I have. Like what you're talking about seems fairly like the finger thing seems fairly easy to understand. Just I don't understand. This infection is the one that really confuses me. Is the one that where you get bit and you get a fever and you just die.
Are you talking about the one in The Walking Dead?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. Like, I don't understand that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like what I always assumed was that you get bit and it gives you some sort of infection and the fever you get kills you. But you would think that if that's the case, the fever you like if you get a fever, they would give you some kind of medicine to lower your fever or even for that matter put you on ice. Like I know they used to do that in the old days. If you got a real high fever, they just put you on ice.
Yeah.
They
I'm
literally put you in a bathtub with ice.
pretty sure they still do that if
I
it's
don't
bad
know.
enough. Like, if they have to get your temperature down then, pretty sure, well, now
Mm,
this is assuming you're home. I didn't, like, I don't know what the doctors do, but if you're at home, I'm pretty sure that's what is recommended. Medical
yeah,
people actually tell you to do that.
yeah, yeah. Like that's what I always thought. I always assumed the fever killed you, but I don't know I don't know if that's the case or not. Like you would think that if that's the case, they'll be able to give you something to,
Yeah.
or for that matter, like I said, put you on ice. Like I don't understand how that would really be a like way to die unless this fever is just so persistent that it just fights through all that. I mean, I just don't know how that's possible, really. I mean,
I'm not sure.
I just like that's the thing that I don't understand is what actually kills you. Like when you
Yeah.
get bit, it
Well,
causes
you said it
something
was
to.
bacterial, right?
Well, I mean, I don't know what it is. I was assuming it was bacterial, but Jenner says he doesn't know.
Yeah.
And I like that's the other thing. I'm assuming that once you die, this infection that actually causes you to turn changes or something because there has to be some sort of something that the zombies carry that um sorry my dog walked in here and just like looked at me.
Okay.
So
Okay, so now I have a picture of you two just looking at each other
well she like, looked at me and started raising her head
and
like
the dog look up and do that little thing where they cock their head sort of
no,
sideways.
no. She looked at me, and it looked like she was smelling something or something, but she wasn't. She was like raising her nose up in the air.
Okay. Anyway,
Anyway, yeah, sorry. That's weird. That's why I went silent because it kind of like I heard my dad has a kidney stone, and I hear him over there groaning right now, and I don't and I was hoping he was all right, and then the dog came over here. That's the reason I was like, but anyway, he's all right because I still hear him. But anyway, uh, the thing is I don't understand what it is that kills you with that. Like,
yeah. Well, I'm going to go with the bacteria thing just because of Herschel's leg. That seems to be the strongest case is that the bacteria kills you. Something happens when you pass out and then you come back because of the infection. I think
that would have been very interesting to like give that leg to like the CDC or something.
yes. It's too bad they didn't meet Herschel in season 1 and that could have happened in season 1 and they could have been like, "Hey, we got a sample here." And General would be like, "Thank you, God.
Yeah.
Yes, you have just cured humanity."
So anyway, my what I was getting into just then was the infection that you have in your body, which we've already decided, at least while you're living, is has really no direct relation to the um or maybe we didn't decide that. I don't know if we did or not, but has no relation to the virus that the zombies carry when they bite you.
Mhm.
That cause, or I'm gonna call it virus because I don't know what else to call it. Um. Anyway, I don't know. Like, my question is um the so say you die and you turn, okay?
Mhm.
The infection you had in your body prior to your death, did that infection like that infection's obviously still there,
Mhm.
okay? But did it transform into the infection that actually causes the fever when you get bit upon death? Do you see what I'm asking?
No.
Okay, so
You're gonna have to totally say that again, and let me slow it down.
okay. So
So you're dead.
so you're dead
Hmm.
and you've turned. Okay.
Okay, so you're a walker.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna call the infection that you had prior to your death A,
Okay, A.
and the one post death that you get when you're a zombie and you bite someone B.
Okay,
Okay.
I would have gone with Z, but okay.
Okay. What was Z? Fine. Z. Z.
Okay.
Did infection A transform upon death into infection Z?
Yes, that's what I think happens.
So that's what I'm assuming because
Maybe like when you
you
die.
don't I don't think you can randomly contract a new infection as a zombie, right? I mean, you would think that
No.
it would have to be something already in your body.
Right. Well, this goes back to what I said. I think that your immune system just can't fight it off anymore, and it just becomes more
It succumbs
powerful.
to it.
Yeah.
Once you're dead, I guess it just automatically. My dog is now barking at my dad because she's too little to get back up in bed. I'll be back.
Okay.
But continue discussing or cut this part out.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and. Ooh, I know what I can do. We'll go back just while Tristan's over there, and we'll take a little break from the Walking Dead discussion, and we'll read off the symptoms of Solanum. So, within the first hour, there is pain and discoloration of the infected area. So once you get bit, there's discoloration, usually a brown purple color. So it says that it is immediate clotting of the wound. Okay, so that's what happens. Hour 5, you get a fever, 99 to 103 degrees Fahrenheit, chills, slight dementia, vomiting, and acute pain in the joints. By hour 8, you have numbing of extremities and infected area, increased fever, 103 and 106 degrees Fahrenheit, increased dementia, and loss of muscular coordination. Hour 11, paralysis in the lower body, overall numbness, slowed heart rate. Hour 16, coma. Hour 20, heart stoppage, zero brain activity, and hour 23, reanimation. So, in Max Brooks's Zombie Survival Guide, it takes almost a full day for you to reanimate. Obviously, in The Walking Dead, that's not true, but we can get back to The Walking Dead because I hear
No, no,
Tristan
no,
back.
no, no, no. It seems like with oh, sorry, I'm not trying to butt in or call you or say that you're wrong, but you're wrong, or at least according to what you just said.
I'm not
For
wrong.
you
Max
to for
Brooks is wrong.
No, well, for you just said for you to reanimate, it seems like from what I understood there, it only takes you 3 hours. Hour 20 you die. Hour 23 you turn. You become a
Oh well,
zombie.
that's a good point. But the entire process is a
Yeah.
whole day.
Okay.
From when you get bit to when you reanimate is almost a whole day.
Yeah. It is basically 24 hours.
So yeah, there is this 3 hour interim in
And
between where you're just lying there dead.
I imagine that's like an estimate as well. I doubt that happens the exact same way every single time.
Yeah, those are approximate.
So anyway, I don't remember what we were talking about. Oh, so you think infection A is related to infection Z?
I think it's the same exact
So you
infection.
think
It
it's
just
the same
becomes more
infection?
powerful when the immune system can't fight it off anymore.
Yeah, or when there is no immune system, for that matter.
Right, well, yeah, exactly. There is no immune system left.
Uh, but can the virus? I mean, I guess it can. So do you think it becomes more potent when there's no like blood for it to travel through? Or see the thing about a parasite is like um. So my question about the parasite is it feeds on and I know this was almost like sort of off related to whatever we were just talking about. But a parasite does it feeds on you, correct? Like it feeds on your
It
body or
doesn't. I don't think
whatever.
it feeds on you, but it uses you. Like for instance, I think there's one that gets in. Oh, I know what it is. Tapeworms. Is that what they are?
Well, I was gonna say something like yeah, tapeworms works.
The one that gets into your uh
It's like a leech.
intestine or whatever. But no, see, it doesn't eat. It doesn't eat what you eat.
No.
It eats like a bacteria that's inside of your intestine.
So it uses you sort of like I'm trying
Right.
to think of an example of like something in the bug world, but like I can't think of anything. Like what I was going for is something that like carries something else
But
around,
the
just
only
like
problem with the tapeworm is like I think that it would be helpful, but the only problem is that it grows so long that it can kill you.
so it's kind of like lice or something.
Yeah, similar, yeah. Actually, yeah, yeah, because lice is a parasite because it uses you for something, but it never actually hurts
Harms
you
you.
directly.
Yeah.
So like for instance, lice, they live in your hair. They're not hurting you, but they make you itch. They might actually bite you. I don't know.
I don't think they bite you. I think it's just the fact that they're up there crawling around in your head that makes you itch.
Yeah.
I
And
imagine. I've
then
never had lice, so I don't know, but
yeah, and then a tapeworm, it doesn't want to hurt you, but it's eating and it's growing and it just does it. So it's indirectly hurting you. It doesn't want to, it just is. I think that's what a parasite is. Now, some parasites may want to hurt you, but for the most part, I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
yeah, I don't know.
Because, I mean, if a parasite wants to hurt you, it's just prey or predator.
So you think this is like technically this thing that's causing this could be something like some sort of little bug or something, really, couldn't it? I mean,
That's what I was going to. Thank you so much for saying that because I want to get into this. This is not Walking Dead, but this is a theory I heard a long time ago. Okay,
mhm.
and it was an article I was reading. Ten ways the zombie apocalypse could actually happen. Okay, you ever heard of the singularity, Tristan?
um,
This is
no,
when this
no.
is when computers and robots and everything becomes self-aware. Okay.
Okay.
Now, at the time of this article, there was a huge thing going on about the cure of cancer using
Mm,
nano robots.
mm,
So you would take them in like a capsule or you would swallow it or something, and the nano robots would swim out and kill the tumor, and then you would pee or poop them out. One, I don't remember,
mhm,
but you would get rid of them through that way. So the theory that this guy that wrote the article came up with was if they become self-aware and they don't like us or if they want to use us, the nano robots could in like stick onto our stem cell, totally eat our brain off because you don't need any part of your brain except for the stem cell to control your body.
mhm.
Or not the stem cell, shit. This the stem. What is it called?
I don't even know.
It's like that thing that meets your spine and your brain. That part. I forgot what it was called. I forget what it's called. But they like leech onto that and they totally take over all motion control. And then for some reason, oh yeah, they then bite other people through your body so that they can reproduce into other people. So like,
How does that transfer though? Like, if
yeah.
you bite someone, that doesn't really make sense how a robot is created from a bite.
Well, no, no. See, like they become self-aware and are able to reproduce themselves. They're able to. Let's pretend, like for a minute, they're living, they're alive pretty much, but they're not. Okay, they can reproduce and they have all the qualities that make you a living organism, but they're not. They're man created.
Reproduce, are they like would they
I have no idea
reproduce
how
like
they would do it, but this is
asexually? I don't
this
even know. I don't even know. Do they have sex? I don't even know.
this is
Like, how would you?
all a theory. It's all like a what if, okay? So if they could reproduce, the way that they would reproduce, they would shoot their offspring into the mouth, have somebody
Okay.
have the infected person bite another person, and then the
So
offspring,
that it could transfer into the other person's
right, it
body
would go in, it would,
and continue and like continue on to connect.
yes,
I
that was
see.
probably the coolest zombie infection I've ever heard of.
That's insane.
Yeah, I'm like, how do you think about this? I'm like, the guy that wrote the article, it's like, good God, he had to really sit down and think about this. But yeah, I remember actually, you know what? I actually remember being like mind blown because I had a very similar theory when I read the article. I was like, oh, I know those nano robots that I've been hearing in the news lately, and sure enough, it was on the list. So I guess
Wow.
it's not that far off that he thought about it, but I remember thinking as well. Good God, like, how do you think about that in such detail?
Well, like I was saying, could this really be like the uh effect, I guess, of some bug, or the like a bug of some kind that just, I don't know,
It's in the trees.
Like I guess it really wouldn't be just because uh they're it's worldwide, so I guess it's almost impossible. It's not necessarily impossible, I don't guess, but okay, I want to go here. How do you think the infection actually got started? How would that even
I actually like the idea. This is probably not what happened, but I like the idea that it's came on like a meteorite or something. It's like some kind of alien thing.
well, the infection's airborne though, so
Yes. So what's that got to do with it coming on a meteorite?
what is it like the infection actually comes from the meteorite and then
Yeah, it's like hitched a ride on the meteorite, like not on purpose, but it's like a chunk of an old planet or something, or star. I don't know what the hell meteorites are, but whatever the hell they are, and like it's been living on that, and then it hits Earth, and it's exposed us to this new alien virus.
yeah. I mean, I don't see how it
Obviously,
like
that's a
unless it's there's only like two ways that I see it happening, and that's like what you just said, or if it's like man-made. Like I don't see how it just pops out of nowhere. Unless it's because of some like animal or insect or something that has like
yeah. So like I could understand it if it
adapted
was
over
just
time.
like little bitty places, or if other like little places had experienced it, like tribes or something. But this just all of a sudden popped out of nowhere and hit the entire world. The only way I see it is, okay, either man-made, like you said, some kind of chemical, um,
Maybe
or
not purposely done,
yeah, like
but
not necessarily purposely, or it could have even been released by some kind of terrorist organization. If you really want to think about it, like maybe they've figured out some kind of synthetic chemical that does this or something.
well, if that's the case, then they have the cure as well. I imagine.
Uh,
I
I don't
imagine.
know.
Like
They
I
might.
seriously doubt they're gonna send that around and just let themselves die while they're.
Yeah, that's a good point, I guess. But I mean, terrorists have been known to kill themselves. I'm not going to get into it, but terrorists don't really necessarily care about their own life. So I don't know if that's the case necessarily. Now maybe if it's like a entire country or something, but
Yeah.
it would have to be a country that doesn't really care about its own people either, because it's released this onto the entire world.
Yeah. And there's no. I doubt there's any hush hush about.
Okay, so I actually have something to talk about, dude. What do you
Okay.
think it's the virus's survivability is? Like, let's say that you want to go up to Alaska or something to get away. You think that would work?
So you're saying like you
Its ability to survive in extreme conditions.
the virus that's inside your body, not the one, not like zombies.
Right, yeah. It's like, do you think people in Alaska got it?
Yeah. Of
You do
course.
think so?
Yeah, I do for sure.
Really? So you think the
It's
people, like, let's go over to the Buddhist monks in the damn Himalayas. You think they got it?
yep. I mean, I don't think there's any
I
virus.
think that might be stretching it a little bit.
Really? Like
Yeah,
I don't think there's any virus that at least that's like that. Like that you can't I wouldn't really call it's not since this one's airborne, like I don't see how it changes even if the air like with the temperature of air, I can't imagine that it changes.
I think it does. I think
Auto-
it. Like I know that a lot of illnesses can't survive in cold places or really hot places, so I believe there's a chance that the Buddhist monks are having a good time up on that mountain. They don't have to worry about walkers coming. Well, they definitely don't have to worry about walkers because walkers definitely probably aren't an issue up there. But I'm talking about the infection because I doubt anybody up there's died yet, and they probably don't even know about what's going on. Of course, the Dalai
like
Lama,
at the
maybe he
very
knows.
least it might slow down. I mean like so in the in colder, especially okay,
Hit
how
me.
about this? And I know I just like sort of changed topics, but say like if you happen to live um like I'm gonna use the Rockies as an example because I can't think of a really high mountain range that's actually possible to live on. Like you couldn't really live on Everest, but
Yeah.
um like the higher you go up, the farther apart air molecules get, correct? So
The thinner the air is what you're saying.
yeah, basically. So does that I wonder if that affects the virus.
Oh, because it can't be in the air if there is no air.
Yeah, like if there's
Right. That's interesting. I don't know. But I was just thinking of the cold, but I didn't think about that. That's a good point too. I just don't think that it can get up that high for one thing. Like most things tend to stay not very high above sea level. Like if it's heavy, unless it's lighter than air, it's not going to get up there. Plus it's cold.
well, see, here's one thing is like one thing that makes me think so is that like they obviously have it in France
They do
for
have it in
sure.
France, yes.
So and I don't know what kind of climate all of France has. Um,
I think it's mostly like ours here. Like they got a seasons and shit, so
but like I just imagine that if we're not the only country dealing with it,
mhm.
I imagine that everybody's dealing with it. And another thing, by the way, is also read, and you've probably seen this post. It's been on Reddit, like it's like a repost 1.5 billion times.
Mhm.
But it's that post is like 15 things you didn't know about The Walking Dead,
Yeah.
and it's like 1 in 5,000 people are
No, it's
there.
not
One
that.
in
It's
5,000 survivors or something like that.
no, they're outnumbered 5,001.
Oh well,
So there are
that's
five
what I was
thousand.
saying.
There are 5,000 walkers to every one survivor.
So if that's the case, then
Yeah, the
I
entire
imagine
world.
everybody's infected.
I just can't see like Herschel's farm.
Hmm.
Look how safe it was, and it wasn't even. That was just because of how rural it was. So take the rural aspect of Alaska, add cold weather, add maybe one high mountain, and I think you're pretty safe from everything. And I
I mean,
doubt you get the infection either because I just don't think the infection can get that high.
like I don't have an argument on that you can or can't get the infection because I know nothing about it.
Well, I mean, who does? I mean,
So I really can't give an argument on that makes any sense. But I can say as far as being safe in Alaska, I would say you're fairly safe, probably safer than other places.
hmm
But I mean, obviously you have to pay attention because
well,
I'm
yeah,
just
and
gonna
it's not just Alaska. Like you could also now, granted, you're probably still gonna be infected, but the desert, you're not gonna have any people there to be walkers.
yeah,
But also, it's kind of hard to survive in the desert.
yeah, that'd be miserable.
Yeah. Like I would always rather be in cold than hot.
Hot's so miserable. Like I
I
just hate
know.
I hate sweating.
Yes.
Well, like sweating, like if I'm working out, it's different. But like if I'm just hot, just like sitting here,
hmm
it's like the heater's
No,
on,
I know
too much.
what you're talking about, dude. Sweat. There's a huge difference. Exercise sweat is actually wet. Sweat from being hot is like sticky and annoying. I
Hmm.
hate it so much.
Anyway, that was a weird topic.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like I think being in a
How you say that word so fast?
rural,
Rural.
rural, whatever. Anyway, being in a, like on an island or something even. See, people say that on an island would be really good. See, now sort of, yeah, a low populated island. I wouldn't want to be on a high populated island.
No, wouldn't want to. Definitely wouldn't want to be on one of the, damn it. I was gonna name a specific one. One of the Hawaiian islands.
Yeah,
Uh,
this is one of the volcanoes.
yeah. During the
It's like
zombie
it'll never
apocalypse.
erupt. Please never let it erupt. It's like begging for it not to erupt. Like I remember watching Man versus Wild. I know this is random, but I wanted to say this just because we were talking about Hawaiian Islands, and he was like stepping on it, and it was like melting his shoes. One of the islands was.
That's insane.
Like he was like having to watch his step because he's afraid he was gonna break through into like lava or magma or whatever.
That's awesome.
But anyway, uh, yeah, like I just can't see. wanting to live on a populated island. That doesn't even make sense because it's just like that's like trapping yourself in.
I tell you where I would go. Okay, here's this is a good place to avoid a zombie apocalypse. I'd try to find a boat and I would go out to one of the Gulf oil rigs.
Hmm.
Uh, They'll like, how many people work on there at once? Maybe like 100 max.
Um, I don't even know.
I have no idea. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to know that, so nobody's going to know that, I guess. But anyway, I'd say they're probably alive. You wouldn't have to worry about them being walkers. If they are walkers, I wouldn't stay on it. But if
For the most
they,
part, yeah.
but like that's a whole city that you got out there in the middle of the ocean that you could go to, and you'd have people out there. I don't know how nice they would be, but I'd assume that they'd let you on. I don't know. And they would have supplies, they'd have food, they know how to live out there, they did it for a living before everything went down. The only problem would be you would eventually have to leave. Or you could maybe go to they might know about like other oil rigs that weren't being used at the time that you could go and get supplies on or just go and move to that one. So I think that'd be a good place to live. That'd keep you a good year maybe alive.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they have enough supplies on there to support them guys, unless they like fly all that shit in as they're consuming it, which they might do. I don't know, but if they don't and they just keep all the supplies on there at once, they have enough food supply those all those guys for like 6 7 months at a time or however long they're out there.
Yeah, like to be honest, um, if I was really gonna go somewhere, like, if I was planning on actually leaving and going somewhere, like I really, your best bet is somewhere out in the ocean. Like
Yeah,
you're,
even get on a boat. Even get on a boat. Oh, dude, in the zombie survival guide, bring that back. He says that zombies actually walk underwater because they don't have to breathe, and when they open their mouth, just all the water floods into their lungs, so that keeps them down below the water, and they just walk on water all the way down. The good thing
well,
about it is, though, they can't get to your boat because they're weighted down by the water in their lungs. So you're
yeah.
pretty
See, like
safe out in
I
the water.
know, like I've heard that same thing somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
but to me it doesn't seem practical. Like I don't see it.
How come?
I don't know. I just
Dude, that makes total logical sense.
actually I want to bring something up.
Okay.
Um, Now this is sort of really unrelated. Well, I mean it's sort of related, like I guess. Um, it's fictional, but in Harry Potter, which I don't know if you've read the sixth book or not. I don't think you have. I don't remember what you told me you read.
Nah, haven't read it.
But Voldemort uh has these corpses, like these bodies that he enchants, and he puts them in this cave where there's a lake, and he like they're called
I've seen that in the movie
in
though.
the movie, and they're called like inferior or something like that, and they like walk underwater.
Hmm.
Like you know what I'm talking about because you said you've seen it, but they're like underwater, so like that was just sort of related. Then
Oh,
and
okay. I thought you were gonna like have a point with the zombies, but okay.
no, there I was just like I just thought about it. So like I never actually never actually thought about it, but and you know that's another thing. Like I know this is just random. We were just talking about Harry Potter, but I don't really believe in magic, but in those books it's kind of insane what they can do. Like
LOL.
that could so be true and we would know nothing about it.
The only thing I would want is a damn potion to get a girlfriend.
Honestly, that really could be so true and we would know nothing about it. Because like they can do memory charms and all this junk where
LOL. All the damn witches and warlocks keep their magic to themselves, and every day they just like curse the entire world and lose our memory every day. And
oh,
we've
oh
seen it and all
like
kinds of shit, and we just don't remember it.
yeah, like if honestly though, like that would be crazy.
Yes, that would be indeed crazy.
Like I'm not saying like I really obviously don't think it exists, but it could and you wouldn't know anything about it.
It could. I mean, dude,
But
we're doing like an hour and a half here of fucking zombie talk. It's okay.
yeah. But I don't know. I really like you say you say you think there's a cure. I see your points, by the way. I was going back to the zombie thing, but I see your points about like the France thing. Like Jenner said he lost contact with French like a few weeks ago or something like that.
Right.
But and you're probably right. If he just because he lost contact with them doesn't mean they're dead. Like they could obviously still be out there alive and just not
Right
like
there. I mean, like when that was happening, his power was going off. So what if
yeah
their power went off just before his?
yeah like something like that could happen. Well, if that happened,
Well,
that
okay, that actually would be
contamination.
good. Yeah.
But something could have happened like maybe his thing shut it down because it felt like that they didn't really need
The
contact with
computer
other
didn't feel it was
countries.
necessary. Yeah.
Yeah. What was it Vi, wasn't it?
Huh?
Wasn't the thing's name Vi?
Something like that, I think.
I can't remember. That might not be right, but uh like if that's not the case, I don't see how they could have a cure. Like you would obviously like to think that there's some sort of government. But if DC is empty, you would think they would try to hold off at DC, right? I mean, like all you would think that most important stuff to other places, there's like their abilities to contact like other countries and stuff like that mostly stand in DC, correct? Like I would think so anyways.
Hmm.
Like I don't know if that's true or not, but um like you would think they would protect DC at any cost. And then Bill and Tony came in, right? The two people from Randall's group, right? That they killed in the bar, and they said that didn't they say that DC was
I don't remember. I'm currently watching season two. Like I haven't seen season two nearly as much as season one, so I don't have it memorized like I have season one memorized. So
yeah.
I won't be able to tell you that. But they probably did. If you're remembering that, I'm sure you're not wrong about
Well, I could be wrong about it. Like it seems like I might be.
it.
I'm not positive. Like it just seems I know they were talking about somewhere like north of Georgia, like pretty far north of Georgia, and it seems like maybe they were talking about New Jersey, maybe.
I don't know. I'm gonna go back and watch. I've got the first half done. I might watch the second half sometime this week. But I know
Yeah.
that doesn't help the podcast. But you know.
Yeah. But it seems to me like they would protect DC at all costs. And I'm just gonna assume that they said that even if they didn't, because
Right, that was another thing that I told you. I also have a feeling that the government is not completely dead. There's something going on in the government, I believe. I believe the president's probably still alive. The vice president's probably dead, but you know, the most important guy, the president's still alive. He's got some bodyguards. He's got some top scientists working for him. I think it's very reliable or a very safe bet that they are close to a cure getting there sometime. The only problem is
I
that
just don't
even
know
if
how
they
they would implement the cure. That's like
right, I understand that. That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I was going to say next is even if they got a cure, I don't know how they would implement it. But I think they're getting one. Dude, they're the government. Come on, they're good at everything they do.
oh man, that's a joke. Anyway,
Anyway,
here I go sign again. Uh, I just don't know how. Like I say, I don't know how they would implement it. It doesn't make sense to me. If they have so many people around the world, it's not like they can just give every single survivor shots or something.
right,
It's not like they can kill off every single walker with something. I mean, there's no direct way to cure everybody or
right.
solve every
Well,
problem.
yeah, I really don't
Like
have.
the only way they can do it is to make a massive amount of it and send it airborne
They
and
could
try to
do
solve the
that.
problem that way.
They could do that.
But zombies don't. Do zombies even breathe? Like that. How do they make? Like, see, I always assume they did because they make noise. But if they're not alive, you don't really, and your body doesn't
They
function.
don't have to,
Then
but they
how do you
do.
breathe?
If they can, they do. They don't have to though.
I don't know.
I don't either.
But I, I just don't know how they would send it out. Like the only thing I can think of is airborne is to at least to get everyone. It's the only thing that makes sense. Only thing that makes sense to me. And they were talking about like I don't think there's any army anymore.
Oh yeah, there's some military people. They're rogue and on their own, but they're still out there.
Well, I mean, there's obviously like there's probably several out there, but I don't think there's that
I
many.
think. Well, I mean, the governor, like when he ran across that, they seem to still be following the guidelines of the U.S. government. So, I mean, I'd say most of them are still keeping with the military motto and doing what they're supposed to do. And obviously, they're surviving and having to survive, but at the same time, they're taking care of citizens and shit.
Like I'll be honest, I don't understand what the heck.
I don't understand that either.
My headset just got cut off and Black Ops music started.
Interesting.
Anyway, not the headset that I'm on right now. My Black Ops 2, the PlayStation headset. Anyway, um, can you hear it?
No.
Uh, okay. What was I saying? Oh, I don't understand why. Like, if there's still military left protecting the president, like you would think that they would be put on the front lines guarding the CDC. That's what I would have had them do is guard the CDC at all costs.
Well,
At
they
all
were
costs.
they were all dead though.
Well, you say there's people to protect the president. If there's people to protect the president. They could have sent more people
I
there.
honestly have the U.S. government thinking that the U.S. president's life is more important than finding a cure.
That's about the stupidest thing I've ever heard. If that's if that would have been really what they were doing.
Dude, that's like the whole point of the U.S. government is to keep the government going, and the only way to keep the government going is making sure your fucking leader's still alive.
I don't know. But I guess you see what I'm saying. Like it doesn't make sense to
Yeah, I
me.
get what you're saying. Like they had been overrun at the CDC though. Jenner was the only one left. There weren't even any doctors there left anyway. They had all left when it was happening or killed themselves, so it really didn't matter. The CDC was total shit anyway. Everybody acted like cocksuckers and thought about themselves and left.
Well, Jenner's wife was left, and Jenner was obviously still there. Like he was still
Jenner and
there.
Jenner's wife was the only one, and Jenner's wife was only there because she's like, well, shit, I got the fucking virus anyway. Might as well do what I have to.
Well, she
Jenner
wasn't.
was probably only there because he had nothing to go to.
He and his wife were. Yeah, he and his wife were probably the only. Like, that was probably the only family he had.
And I think his wife died before like it went like he acted like they had been working on it for months. He acted like they had been working on it before it went worldwide. He acted like they knew about it for a long time.
I don't know.
And then he also acted like his wife had died a long time before it started too. Like she had been one of the first infected.
Well, no, because he definitely said that that this was the freshest sample we had. The other the um other samples were weeks old,
Oh,
so it
okay.
wasn't that long ago.
Okay, you're right.
I definitely remember him saying that. So it wasn't that it couldn't have been that long ago from the point when they were there. But
I have no idea. I think we've exhausted this topic.
yeah, I was about to say I think we got about as much out of this topic as we're gonna get.
Yeah, but this has been a really good,
Yeah,
interesting debate, discussion, whatever you want
yeah,
to call it. It's really
yep.
good. Man. All right. So, any final thoughts?
mm, no. I hope
All
there's
right.
no cure and the show goes on forever.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, just if you've listened this long, I thank
Applaud
you.
you.
I thank you so much for thinking that we have such beautiful voices that you want to listen
Uh-huh.
this far.
Yep.
But no, seriously, if you listen this far, you definitely need to subscribe because if you like our videos so much that you listen this far in,
Yeah, and
you're
please comment.
yeah, please, yeah, yeah, that's something you need to do. Like,
Like
tell us
if
what you think because we can't think of everything. We're not the damn government.
if what?
Well, I was thinking government has a solution to everything.
Oh. Well, yeah, if you guys want to see anything specific, let us know in the comments for sure. Like
Mhm.
I kind of like these
Dude,
debates,
I love having these
discussions stuff
discussions that
because
go
like
on forever.
yeah, especially like about the Walking Dead and stuff.
Hmm.
So,
All
but
right.
any topics you guys want to give us. Be sure to put them in the comments below.
I'm Jesse, and that's Tristan, and we thank you for watching.